If I have romance, do I still need friends? I bet most of you think that's a silly question. In fact, I think I can hear you right now in your classroom in Rotunda D across campus as you quietly whisper, "That's silly, of course I still need friends." But let's think about that question for a moment longer. I think I can say without much exaggeration that we certainly value friendship less than we value romantic relationships in our current culture. Just think for a moment about the conversation that you've probably had in your life. Someone asks you about your relationship with someone, and you respond, "We're just friends." Think about that line, just friends. Friends, something less than something else, just friends. The friendship is less than a romantic relationship, at least in the way we think about it and use it. But is that the right way to think about friends, and could we be missing something in that cultural attitude of our current day? Well, of course we're missing something if that's our attitude with the current day. We need friendships and deep friendships to be authentically human. It's part of our human makeup. We need friendships in which we have vulnerability, in which we have intimacy, in which we have closeness that is not romantic. That's just for its own sake, without anything to gain. I like to draw from two recent examples to show how our culture doesn't set us up for human fulfillment by disregarding friendship. And they are the examples of the new Joker movie and the recent canonization of St. John Henry Cardinal Newman, after whom Newman Center Ministries are named. Now stick with me because a DC comic supervillain and a Catholic saint are an odd combination, but I think it works. The new movie, The Joker, is the story of the demise of a man, Arthur Fleck, and the rise of him as the arch-villain, the supervillain, the Joker. Now, in this movie, one thing you'll notice, and there's no spoilers here, okay, one thing you'll notice is that while he has intense interest in his life, he has no friends. He has a connection with his mom, he has a romantic interest, he has a comedic idol that he looks up to, but he doesn't have friends and friendship. He doesn't seem to value friendship. The movie itself does not seem to value friendship. Now, whether this is deliberate to show that Arthur Fleck, who becomes the Joker, is a man unhinged from the necessity of friendship, or whether it's just a blindness, a cultural blindness on the part of the creators of the movie to think, you know, friends don't really matter, and why should we have friends? We have romantic interests, we have family, we have professional idols. What more could there be in a man's life? Well, there could be friends. I'm not saying Friends would have kept a character like that from becoming a arch supervillain, but it's interesting that that's just not even part of the landscape, part of the story at all. Friends are totally absent from the Joker. John Henry Cardinal Newman, on the other hand, a Catholic saint, is a man of deep friendship. He was a celibate man, an Anglican priest. He was a celibate before he became a Catholic, and then was ordained a Catholic priest after he became a Catholic. But even though he was a celibate man, he had deep friendships in his life, and we see evidence of that in his writings and in the biographies about him, especially with a fellow Catholic priest by the name of Ambrose St. John. Now, the sad thing is that around the time of his canonization, you'll hear commentators, and yes, even Catholic commentators, assuming that Newman's relationship with St. John was an erotic one. They might say it was chaste, but they still assume it was erotic in some way, romantic, instead of just thinking, no, these are intimate and deep friends. Again, displaying this cultural blind spot that we have to the idea of friendship. Now, this thought about Newman having an erotic relationship with this man, none of the actual biographers bear this up. None of the thorough and scholar biographies, and even those who might want to prove that Newman had some homoerotic leanings, they say there's nothing there that way. And so again, it shows this cultural blindness we have to the power of friendship, both in the absence of friends in the movie The Joker, and in the way that we and even Catholics distort deep friendships when we see them in people like John Henry Cardinal Newman, now a canonized saint. It's a great poverty in our society that tends to de-emphasize and turn a blind eye towards friendship and our humanity. It's a great poverty in our society that we turn every relationship into an erotic one, rather than valuing and desiring after intimate friendships. Rediscover the goodness of deep friendships. You'll need them for happiness in your life. And have mercy and pity on your lonely neighbor who's confused and doesn't know the goodness of friendship. And offer them friendship with good boundaries and with patient resolve. I'm Father Andrew Dickinson at the Pius XII Catholic Newman Center. God bless you. Have a great week.